Hi, good morning, Farsha. It's very great to have you, and thank you so much for joining us for today's interview session. We are so happy and we are very glad, and it's a pleasure for both of us to have you to be with us for today. And before we get started, please let us introduce ourselves first. Hi, my name is Muhammad Lukman Bahaki, and you can just call me Bahaki, and this is my partner.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Ajipri. You can call me Izzat.
So my name is Bahaki and his name is Ezat, and we are English communication students from College Professional Mara Sri Iskandar based in Perak. And today we are going to conduct an interview session with you in conjunction of our pragmatic intercultural communication assignment. So I think it's okay if we start now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, but first, before we start, can you please, of course, we want to know our interviewee more. So,
Mhm.
can you please introduce yourself and explain a little bit about your background? Anything, your name, your age, anything about, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so hi guys, good morning. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me as well. So I'm Varsha. Varsha Vini anak perempuan Ganesan, and I'm from Klang. And then my cultural background per se, I'm Malaysian Indian. To get more into it, I'm Tamil as well. So yeah, I grew up in a very diverse culture, like living in Selangor. I've interacted with other cultures as well. And I would say from my cultural background, it's quite strict and we have our own set of rules and our own way of life. So yeah, I'm happy to help you guys for this project.
Thank you so much. Are you still studying, or where were you studying, and what course are you taking?
Okay, currently I'm doing my degree in accounting and finance in Sunway
Wow.
University. So yeah.
Oh, something city. Oh, that's
Oh,
very great.
Uh-huh.
interesting.
For how many years have you been there?
I just got done with my foundation last year, so right now I'm on my first year of degree.
Yeah, okay. So it means like account and finance is like something that you have been admiring and you want to pursue since still high school or something.
Yeah, accounting was something I was always into even as a kid, so this was a great choice for me. So yeah,
So you
Oh,
love mathematics and stuff.
I really am a math person, like hitting
Yeah,
into the stereotype. Yep,
you're a number person.
pretty much.
We have a very contrast in education because we are pursuing in language and you are pursuing in number, but it's okay. I think we have a common in something else, but it's okay.
Yep.
We would love to know more about your culture. So I think that we now that we already know you a little bit more, so I hope that you are comfortable to communicate with us and joining us for this interview session. So I think without further ado, let's move on to our first question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so before we ask you the first question, we would love to show you a short video clip. So we would share the screen right now on the screen while my partner will set it up. So actually, I don't know if you already watched this movie. This movie is called The Intern. I think it's very familiar and kind of like famous in
Hmm.
most youngsters nowadays, right? So it is acted by Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro. And yeah, let's watch the clip first.
I'm glad you also see the humor in this.
Be hard not to.
So, Ben, I was gonna say, what is a nice guy like you doing in a place like this? But Cameron gave me the drill, so can I just be honest with you?
Please.
I'm not gonna have a lot for you to do. That's the truth. And you being assigned to me is kind of just for me to set an example for the rest of the team. If you ask me, I think that you'd be much better off working in creative or marketing. It's a little bit slower pace, maybe a little bit easier to grasp. If you requested a transfer, we can make that happen.
If that's what you prefer.
You'll be happier, believe me. I am not so fun to work for.
That's what I gather, but I can get along with anyone, and I'm here to learn about your world, give help where I can, so.
So you don't want to transfer?
Not really, sir. I'm terribly sorry. Excuse me.
Okay. Well, then looks like you're stuck with me.
Great. I'm excited.
I will email you when I have something for you to do.
Or I could just stop by a few times a day, check in.
I'll email you. Also, don't feel like you have to dress up. I mean, we're super cash here.
I'm comfortable in a suit if it's okay.
No, it's fine. Old school.
Exactly.
All right. So from the short clip video, like I told you just now, it is a short clip video from a movie called The Intern. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Acted by Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro just now. And actually, this in this video, we can see that even though the Robert De Niro, the old guy, is much more older than Anne Hathaway, which is his boss, but he's still like paying his attention and being so attentively listening to her, giving instructions or whatsoever, and he's also being very respectful and polite, keeping being silenced when his boss is talking and whatsoever, right? And responding very respectfully to his boss, even though she is much more younger than him. So, based on the short video clip that we showed you just now, we can see that in their culture, that is how they use silence in during their conversation. So they are he's being respectful and everything. So now we would love to know, in your culture, what role does silence play during conversations or social interactions?
Okay, so growing up Indian, I would say silence it plays a huge part in my life, because like we are expected to be silent when like someone older is talking, be it your aunt or your parents or anything. So we are more used to just staying quiet for the most of the conversation, because we do want to like gather what they're saying, process it first before we start speaking, just to make sure there's no like misunderstandings or anything. So silence does play a huge part in that, I think.
Yeah, of course. I do think so too, because
Mhm.
yeah, sometimes in like maybe just like you said just now, in your culture, it plays a very important role. It shows you a sign of respect when when we are talking to our parents or someone who are much older than us, or even someone with a higher status than us. We are being respect using silence
Mhm.
and not interrupting our the other person while they are talking. So of course I think so too, that silence plays a very big and important role in your culture and our culture too, right? So I think that it is very interesting fact that about your culture, that is how uh, you use silence during interactions, right? So have you like in your own life, have you ever like experienced a situation that where silence actually helped to avoid conflict or misunderstandings? Any like experience that you ever faced in your life?
Yeah, I feel like there were so many instances where that actually like I do relate to that. Especially like recently, like when we were having a conversation about our project as well at uni, and then one of my friend who's from a different cultural background, like everyone was from different cultural backgrounds, so he was struggling to speak and like trying to gather words and all this information, right? And then everyone else kept talking over him, and I was like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, you know what? Being quiet would help him gain the confidence and like just gather up his information and everything before he can just say it to us, to be honest. So yeah, I genuinely do believe that listening first before you speak is very important.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with you because, yeah, of course, sometimes we don't even have to answer it right away because sometimes we have to pay attention first and bring respect so that the other person could talk first. And then after that, we could answer the question relevantly, I could say, right? So I
Yep.
think that is the end for the first question. So now my partner will ask you the second question.
Alright. Okay, Mikey. Alright. For the next question, we're going to talk about varieties in communication styles. So, I'm going to give you a scenario to help you understand the question. In a group discussion, one student directly says, I disagree with this idea, which sounds harsh and rude, while another student hints politely, I think there might be a better option, but I'm not sure, which sounds more gentle and appropriate. So, based on the scenario we just gave you, do you mind telling us how do people in your culture normally express their opinion or their feelings during communications?
Okay, so I would say like when it comes to youngsters or like people who are younger, they're more like indirect when it comes to elders because you don't want to sound rude or like too much to them, you know. So like yeah, but when it comes to like parents or like any adults like aunts or uncles, they usually are more direct to the younger ones because like you know and they're just like very direct but like you should take it by heart lah. You should you know get used to it because they probably mean it in a good sense, so that's what I think.
Alright, so so people in your culture usually prefer direct communication instead of indirect communication, right? Or is it
It's
another
different
way
between
around?
like two. I mean like younger kids prefer indirect when it comes to like older people, but then the older people when talking to the younger people they use direct, I would say. So it
Oh,
varies. Yep.
alright. Okay. So, are there any common phrases or communication styles used in your culture to express disagreement politely?
We would like low key just sugarcoat things in a way that we would be like, I think it's better, or like, maybe like, what do you think about this? So like, they feel like it's their opinion as well. So like, they feel like they're making the decision themselves, you know, rather than like straight up going, no, I don't like this. So yeah.
Yeah, alright. Okay. When discussing sensitive topics, how do people in your culture typically communicate their views without creating conflict?
Okay, when it comes to sensitive topics, some may be direct, but like for the most part, from what I have seen, they are more like subtle about it. They try to sugarcoat things, as I said before. They just you don't want to be too direct in someone's face when you're talking about sensitive topics because like you don't know how they're gonna react. So to just avoid conflicts or any miscommunication in general, we do like try to sugarcoat things and say it in a nice way.
Alright. As we know, when two people from different culture background communicates, sometimes problems will arise because of the different communication pattern. For example, people from USA are more direct and straightforward, while Malaysians are more indirect and subtle. So, in your opinion, how do people in your culture will solve it when problem like this happens?
Okay, when problem like this happens, there is a bunch of like arguments and like I don't know, they feel attacked when people are very direct to themselves because like in general as Asians we are very subtle and we try to sugarcoat out things, right? So when it comes to this, problems do arise, but we have to be more understanding, in my opinion, because like people grew up in different ways from different cultures. Like you don't know their cultural background, so maybe they're used to people speaking the way they do. So you should just give and take and just chill out. To be honest.
All right, so I understand. So, Baiki, can you proceed with the next question?
All right. So for the third question, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to tell you a scenario. So imagine that you are attending a formal event or working in an office, right? And you notice that employees greet their manager with a slight nod of the head and stand very respectfully when a senior person enters the room and allow the senior person to speak first during discussions. And the manager, on the other hand, stands very confidently and uses a very broader hand gestures while speaking and maintains a more commanding and posture. So these nonverbal behaviors seem to reflect the different levels of authority within the group. So the question is based on the scenario, how does nonverbal communication help establish and reinforce social hierarchies in your culture?
I feel like it's very common for us to have like the non-verbal communication in general because as Indian myself, I do nod my head and then like I mean to just acknowledge older people when it comes to people with authority or anything, I do like nod my head to just like acknowledge that they're there, especially like when like someone's on a call or having a conversation with someone else. And the other common practice we do have is like we bow our heads down when like walking past adults who are like speaking to each other. And then other than that, we also do like, like put our hands together, say vanakkam and stuff. So yeah, that's quite common in my culture.
I see. Yeah. So the other question that I want to ask you is that based on the same scenario earlier, we can see the example of how people usually use nonverbal communication at a workplace. So, can you give us another example of nonverbal communication that shows respect for someone with higher status in your culture?
Okay, the one I have came across or something that I practice in my daily life, to be honest, it's like when like let's say my dad or like my uncle or be my aunt, when they're on calls, I just like nod my head to just be like, yo, I acknowledge that you're there, but like I don't want to disturb your space. I don't want to disturb whatever you're doing, right? So yeah, I think that's quite common, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think it is very common to, in that kind of situation, to use that kind of way. So, now that as the generation goes on and every day, have you noticed any changes in how younger generations in your culture express a respect and hierarchy through nonverbal communication?
I feel like younger kids these days, they are not really like in the zone or like they're not really like aware of their surroundings for the most part, like on their phones for the most part. So I don't think they really practice it. But like what I've noticed from kids my age, we still do follow the normal like non-verbal communication rules per se. But then like maybe like the kids might like grew up to, maybe catch onto the culture as well.
Yeah. Hopefully that they could, use a very good nonverbal communication
Yeah.
with and people with more authority and whatsoever.
In my opinion, every culture has their own hierarchy system, right? Can you share a
Yeah.
little bit about your hierarchy system in your culture? How does it work? Uh,
Mm,
uh, Anything?
hierarchy system. I would say like us youngsters are all the way down there. And then like we're supposed to respect the older people. I feel like that's just a common practice, no matter I believe that give respect, get respect. But then it's very common in my culture to just respect the older people or people with more authority, to be honest. So yeah.
Oh, right, I understand. Right. Okay, for my next question, I will give you a scenario again. Okay. Supposedly, you are attending a cultural gathering and meeting new people for the first time. Everyone is engaging in friendly conversation, but some individuals prefer different amounts of personal space. Okay. So, for the question, in your culture, is it important? And if so, why is it important to understand other people's personal space preference during interaction?
Oof. Okay. So okay, as an Indian, uh,
Right,
we have very big family gatherings, and it
right,
happens quite often. So we all are pretty close to each other. So we do have our boundaries, but like um, we respect each other's personal space. So it is what it is, and like if someone invades your personal space, we are kind of vocal about it then and there, like no matter who it is. So that's how it is in my culture. But if I see it in a professional setting or in any other setting that isn't like with my family, I do prefer my personal space. Like there has to be a professional distance, like between people, like especially people with different cultures and everything. So yeah, that really matters to me.
yeah, because everyone has their own personal space and their
Yeah.
own limit in communication, right?
Yep.
All right. So for the follow-up question, what might happen if someone does not respect another person's personal space during a
Mhm.
conversation?
I genuinely find that really rude because, like, why are you trying to get into my space? If someone stands too closely, it's just weird, to be honest. Or, like, in a way, like, why are you trying to be so aggressively in my space? And then, like, I feel like it pushes me away in a way that I just want to shut down or just like distance myself from this person, just back away. I
Yeah.
feel like it's very important to respect that space with the other person and establishing the boundary because you can still hear the same thing I'm saying from just a bit further away.
Okay.
So, I just like you said just now, I'm sorry, I have to
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
you
no
a question
worries.
because it is very interesting. Because I love watching like Hindustani movies or whatsoever, and I very love their culture. My mom is a really big fan of Hindustani movies and whatsoever, right? So like I grow up watching Shah Rukh Khan,
Yeah.
Amitabh Bachchan, and whoever it is, right? The actors, the actresses, and then we get so from the movies we can see that just like you said, in the Indian culture you always have like a lot of big gathering with your families, or sometimes with new people that that joins the gathering together with you. So have you ever like based on your own experience, have you ever like on your own faced that experience of people like intruding your personal space and not giving you a very good not having a very good boundaries? So like can you tell us like if you ever have an
Mhm.
experience, can you please tell us the story so that just for interesting fact, you know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me tell you this. So, okay, there was this one instance, I think it was a random party, and then like it was a family gathering with friends as well. It's always like I'm not attacking the older aunties, but they would just come into my space. I'll be doing something, they'll come into my space and grab my hair and be like, "Is this real?" And I'm like, "Auntie, please back away.
That is
I need
very
my
rude.
space, please." I know, I find that
Yeah.
very like, "Stop touching me, please." But yeah, I feel like that's quite
Uh,
common. And then I have to establish to them, like, "Please move away. I don't really like you touching me." And then after that, it's kind of fine.
Oh, I
mm,
see. So I mean, like, have you ever like when someone are being too like over with their action, maybe like even though they are someone that you already know for a very long time, let's say your friends, your best friends still since high school whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
doing some stuff like you said just now, touching your hair or intruding your personal space, and have you ever like used I wouldn't say violence, but say harsh things, or maybe like use some kind of other way to make them understand and respect your boundaries.
Okay, I have been in situations where my social battery is really low, and I'm like, nobody come
Yeah.
near me, nobody talk to me. So when people come and bother me, I know it's aggressive. I quite literally push them away, especially if it's like my close friends or my siblings. I'm like, just back off. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I usually do.
Yes, of course. Sometimes we just like, of course, like you said, so our
Hmm.
social battery is very low and we don't feel like communicating with people. And then people just come towards us and doing something that we don't feel
mm,
comfortable. So, of course, I understand that
yeah.
situation. Of course, I think me and Ezad also face that kind of situation
Yes.
where sometimes we feel so stressed
Mm,
about it. So, yeah, I think it's normal. But yeah, it's a normal
mm,
reaction of a human being.
yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so I think let's move on to the next question before we get very deep about that personal space question. So for the fifth question, we are going to share the screen and we are going to show you a video. So this one is an animation movie clip. It's a movie from called Inside Out, and I think, of course, you know Inside Out because
Hmm.
I think it's very famous. So yeah, my friend will show you the short clip video. I'm sorry if it's a little bit lagging because
Ah,
we already
so,
tested it just
Riley, how
now.
was school?
Yeah, no
For
worries.
this, we gave up that Brazilian helicopter pilot?
Boo! I'll be joy.
School was great, all right?
Ah, so, Riley, how was school?
For this, we gave up that Brazilian helicopter pilot?
Boo! I'll be joy.
School was great, all right?
Riley, is everything okay?
Sir, she just rolled her eyes at us.
What is her deal? All right, make a show of force. I don't want to have to put the foot down.
No, not the foot.
Riley, I do not like this new attitude.
Oh, I'll show you attitude. Okay?
No. Stay happy!
What is your problem? Just leave me alone.
Sir, reporting high levels of sass.
Take it to DEFCON 2.
You heard that, gentlemen? DEFCON 2.
Listen, young lady, I don't know where this disrespectful attitude came from.
You want a piece of this, Pops? Come and get it!
Yeah, well,
Here it comes. Prepare the foot.
Keys to safety position. Ready to launch on your command, sir.
just shut up!
Fire!
That's it. Go to your room. Now.
Foot is down.
Okay, so that is the first clip of the video where we can see that the way that they trying to solve the problems within their family members is using some kind of like harsh way, right? So now we are going to show you the second one, which is the contrast of the situation in the short video clip just now.
I know you don't want me to, but I miss home. I miss Minnesota. You need me to be happy, but I want my old friends and my hockey team. I want to go home. Please don't be mad.
Oh, sweetie.
We're not mad. You know what? I miss Minnesota too. I miss the woods when we took hikes.
In the backyard where you used to play.
Spring Lake, where you learned to skate. Come here.
Okay, so now we already watched two clips of the video. I'm so sorry. Of course, I think at your screen is very lagging too, because I don't know, it's some kind of like technical problem, because we already tested it out before we let you join the meeting, but it's still lagging because I think because of the resolution whatsoever, right? So I'm sorry for the
No
technical problem.
worries. No worries.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, from the two short clip videos we can see from now, we can see just now, we can see that is the two differences for from two POV when how family handles their problems when misunderstandings and issues arise, among family members. So it was very emotional. I think it's very emotional for the second clip because I think it's very deep for me as how parents. That is how most parents should, treat their children when stuff like this happens, misunderstandings and problems happens. So the question is that how does your family or your cultural background shape the way that you handle conflicts and misunderstandings with your family members?
Okay, let me just tell you, the videos, both of it was relatable because I have been in instances in life where both has happened to me. But then in my family, especially these days, as I've grown older, we try to like decrease the friction or like just get rid of the friction in general by we have this rule of thumb where we don't go to sleep having any conflicts or any anger or resentment towards each other. So we have to solve it then and there. So we just sit down on the dinner table, we tell our opinions, and the others do listen so they don't disrupt the other person who's speaking. So yeah, we just talk things out, or like we have one-on-one conversations after like the anger has like subdued and it's just calm, which I think is really important. Communication is key. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, communication. I think for me, communication is the most important thing when, conflicts and frictions happen, like you said, right? So, because with communication, you can understand each other better instead of overthinking and making bad assumptions of, maybe we as a children, we think that our parents doesn't love us, but actually they're also living their life for the first time too, so they don't really know how to express their feelings to us too, because we are not communicating with them good enough to as a children. And also as parents, they should be more professional to to engage a conversation with their children. So yeah, fun fact, it's a very fun fact about that you already faced that kind of problems, both of the problems, like the short video clips that we showed you just now. So when a misunderstanding happens, right, in your own experience, so do you like discuss it openly, or you handle it more privately, or is there any kind of like way that you more prefer in solving that kind of problems? Maybe like you are arguing with your sister or your family, your parents, or anyone in your family members. So do you prefer to handle it like privately, or maybe like openly, like 1v1, like 1v1, I'm sorry, one on one? I'm sorry, one on one, like you said
Yeah.
now, or maybe you like to more prefer to discuss at a dinner table, or like in the family area, family room, to discuss it together with everyone, or more to 1v1, one on one, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. I personally would prefer it to be more private. I mean, okay, to be honest, I did have my 1v1 moments with my sister, like before in public.
So
And
not one on one, 1v1.
yeah, it was definitely 1v1. So things get messy, people interfere. It's just more of a mess. It just blows it out of proportion, to be honest. So I genuinely do prefer, I mean, getting older and being more mature, I do prefer like
Yeah.
having a conversation and like just solving things, because like I feel like the relationship matters more than just the temporary like disagreement, like the I don't know, the value of the relationship matters more to me than anything else. And also my dignity does pretty much matter, because like I don't want to be arguing in publics or getting into fights in publics where like other people have their own opinions and they'll try to interfere. So it's just too much. It's really messy. So I would prefer to keep it simple and private.
Yeah, of course, we can relate to that too, because of course I also have my own experience. You have your own experience, and of course, as I have his own experience. So we all, as we grow up, as we grow older, so we become more mature, and also, of course, we prefer to be more private when things like this happens, because we don't want other people to interrupt and interfere our conversation when we are trying to solve a problem. So yeah, I think that is a very mature way, and yeah, the most efficient way to solve a problem, right?
So I think that was our last question. And with that, we have reached the end of our interview session. Thank you very much, Marshall, for sharing your thoughts and insight with us. We appreciate your time to participate and share your experience today. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak with you and hope to have the chance to collaborate with you again in the future. Once again, thank you for your time, Varsha. We wish you all the best for your degree and appreciate your valuable input. Alright. See
Okay,
you next time.
no worries, guys. Thank you for having me. Bye
Alright.
bye.
Bye.
So much.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.